have to get some real life. Same for the welcome to another edition of the Tale of Truth podcast. I am your co-host, D. Taylor, and there she is.
Hello.
Sorry we missed y'all last week, but y'all know the rules of the game by now.
Sorry.
Can you concentrate on what we're doing?
I was getting ready to share it.
Chill
out.
Okay, gotcha. What we gonna do? Y'all know what the background look like. We having some background technical.
We are half a figment of your imagination.
Just a half. So we're gonna try. We're gonna try to.
What are we trying to do?
I'm gonna take the virtual background off, so we can just see us.
Okay.
And not be figments of the imagination. And
now we are shadowed.
But not shadow banned.
That's important. That's not that's not happening.
Okay. Yeah, so we've been trying to come on a little bit more regularly to make sure we are giving you the content that you need. Because we got to get the people
what they want.
What they want. This is not Jalen and Jacoby, so it's cool.
That's who they use that?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that before I chimed in and co-signed.
No, it's cool. Cool. I mean, I don't know.
So if y'all are on, please make sure you share on your platforms as well.
Or when you get on.
Thank you. Please and thank you. My eyes look huge in these glasses. And they are, but
you got glasses that accentuate your eyes. You still beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Y'all don't say nothing. Nothing at all. All right, we get ready to get started. You ready?
I was ready.
You talk while I share the YouTube one.
Oh, I just shared. I was sharing it while we were doing. You can't do multiple things.
I can't. I've never been a really good multitasker.
All right, here we are again on this week of Married at First Sight.
This is a heck of a screenshot. I'm gonna tell you that. This looks crazy. Make sure we pose next time because that looks.
I don't know how to do what it does. I don't know.
We have to act real because that ain't it.
You just mad because you're looking off to the side.
I am.
So we are at Married at First Sight. We then left the honeymoon. They've left the island, and we get to see the people in their own environments in their homes. Mark the shock. His brother had to go into his house with a hazmat suit on.
Bed bugs. Bed bugs?
The bugs.
And he doesn't have it. Oh, he had cats, right?
He had cats. He had 5 cats. We didn't see a cat when we went to the house, though.
I don't. Well, I'm sure the cat wasn't there with the bed bugs, but
you never know.
I don't know how one initially gets bed bugs. I know they are spread, but I don't know how bed bugs initially should just show up. So I don't know what Mark did, and Mark seems like a very clean guy.
He does, but here it is too. Mark does not. It's not a separate dwelling, and we know when you have bed bugs, they can come from opposite dwelling. So
I forgot there are multiple people because
multiple
the aunt or godmother or whatever is the landlord, right?
Yeah, the mother figure.
The mother figure.
And my whole thing with that mother figure, I believe she was jealous. That's why she was calling them every 5 minutes. That's why basically she kicked them out the house. But
you the mother figure. That's it.
Yeah, but you
can't be jealous.
She want the peen.
Okay, that's disgusting. In whatever way you put it, that's nasty. Yeah. So,
Mark the shot.
What about you? You are more invested in these folks than I am this season around.
Yeah.
I watch, but I don't know if I pay attention enough. I just know the girl.
We'll get to her.
Okay, that's it. Let me jump in when it comes to that crazy person.
What about Elijah Wan and his girl?
I'm gonna make this easy on you. I'm gonna make this real easy. Nobody's gonna make it.
But didn't I say that in the beginning?
I thought you said at least one person. One couple.
I thought it was gonna be Noy and that guy. But then you said, no, they're gonna make it.
I thought for a moment, what's the other people? What's the other black people?
Oh, the dude with the beard.
The dude with the beard and the other girl. And then when he has an issue and so does she. She is on go at any given time. And he is on go, but he tries to do it like more in a passive aggressive way.
Yeah.
And so unless there's something going on off camera, I have not heard this man raise his voice, but she says that he has.
Yes. Jasmina and Michael.
Right, those two. I thought for a split second, like right after the wedding or at the wedding, that they could perhaps make it, but these two aren't going to make it. So nobody's going to make it to me. We knew that old girl soon as she said something if I walk out and his teeth messed up
and the camera,
like, oh no.
But then the cameras did a close up on that bad teeth.
I knew we were gone from that moment forward. So I mean, I really don't think anybody's gonna make it. Whatever, everybody at this point is going through the motions, and which is what they're supposed to do. They call it trying. They're
basically dating, but they're married.
Right.
And see, the problem is they have an easy get out.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have an easy get out, and most people, if they had an easy get out in their marriage, they probably wouldn't make it even.
Yeah, I don't know. They just faced with, I thought Noy, isn't that her name?
Noy and Steve.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna give it a go as well, but she is worried about what I said she would be worried about, and that's the fact this man that he's a free spirit.
That man got money because he's able to travel around.
He does, but it's going to run out, and she is thinking about long term.
And he will get a job. He had an opportunity to get a job, and I think what he does, because he does contract, is he'll make more money being a freelance tech person than he would.
But if we think about the dynamics, think about how appearances. If I come up to you, you'll be like, "Oh, we are planning a future together, long term," and I tell you our contract.
It depends on what them contracts look like. Because look, I'm gonna tell you like this: most actors are unemployed until they get a gig.
Yes, but that's why people who marry people in show business have to know what they're signing up for, because they have to know it is not consistent work.
Man, all right, let me tell you: if I say our contract, right, and I show you a bank account with $90,000 in it, would you be?
Yes, I would feel secure for about 6 months.
Yeah. But did I get another contract?
Right.
And as long as the bills can get paid, I don't think that man got his own apartment. He got his own car. He got bills he paid.
But I think it also, for novice or people who know nothing about the business that he is in and what contractors do, he has to work a little bit harder to show security, because she doesn't know how readily available contract jobs are.
I think he needs to show her his bank account. That would shut all that up.
Perhaps. You ain't showing nobody you just met, whether you're supposed to be married or not. You ain't showing them their bank account.
Exactly. So sometimes you just got to trust that I can take care of us. Together, we can take care of each other.
That's true.
Again, if y'all watching and y'all enjoying the show, please comment if you have any questions. If you are lost at what we're talking about right now, because this is our reality TV moment, we gonna get into some real stuff soon. So Jasmine and Michael, you say no, they got issues.
Nope, I'm really not optimistic about anybody.
Nope. So let's get into today is my decision day. My man Chris.
I don't blame Chris. That was the great line.
That was the great line.
That was a great line.
That
and
would go.
He waited to the opportune time to pull his card out and use it. And I do not blame Chris. It's unfortunate, but we could all tell that she wasn't in it. She tried
to hide it.
She
tried
to hide. She tried to hide it for people who she thought wasn't paying attention. I think Pastor Cal knew what was going on. I think the rest of us knew what was going on. And if you have to, we said this week before last, if you have to work so hard to prove that you're a nice person, you are normally not a nice person. And she tried to say with words that Alyssa drove crazy.
Oh, she gonna continue because she gonna pop up.
What and do what?
I don't know. She gonna pop up. She wanna hang with the girls.
And he said several times, "You are not here for the right reason."
Not for the right reasons.
All know that right reason is number one. I want to have friendships. You should have joined the club. Number two, she wanted her 15 minutes, and that's what she got. She was not fully expecting Chris to be like, "I'm out."
Nope.
So she thought she was gonna hang this out through the duration and get her.
You gonna live with your
20 minutes of fame.
You gonna live over here. I'm gonna live over here. Then we're gonna switch up.
And like, no, he won't try. That's not why he was there. And I can see fully why he was like, "I'm out. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction of number one, leaving me looking crazy, and number two, getting famous off of hurting who I am, trying to prove that you are a better person than what you are. You were not a good person." So good for him.
So
today is my decision day.
I just found out that you get paid a total of $8,000, $8,400 for being on Married at First Sight.
$8,400.
Mm-hmm. You get $150 a day. 8 weeks times 7 days a week is 56 times the 150.
I mean, that's nice.
That's a nice
piece of pocket change.
Change. And probably you took some vacation to do this or whatever.
Shoot, and she got a free vacation when they went on honeymoon. Who knows what she did when she went with him? So she probably had a good time.
Yeah, because you only get 12 hours. They only make you do 12 hours of
filming. So she probably went off on her own. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good for her and good for Chris.
But the mama said it. You never gonna find a man that's gonna deal with this.
Maybe the next season. I didn't watch it fully. I don't think you watched it fully through either. The season of the Unmatchables.
No, I didn't watch that.
Maybe she'll be on the next season of the Unmatchables.
But you see, the Unmatchables are the people that they turned down, not the people they failed.
Oh, that's true.
So we need a season of failures.
That's all of them. Except
we need a season of failures.
The five that survive all these
seasons. We need a season of failures. That's how you know experts don't be expert.
They don't. And that's why I be glad when you watch Love is Blind, so we can discuss that and how
that. How many reality shows you want me to watch now?
I just want you to watch Love is Blind, and we only on season 2. That's
and
why
I give you watch the other one too.
What?
The one we're gonna discuss tonight.
That's a one-time series. It's not
a series.
I mean, it's a one-time movie thing. It's not a series. Yes.
So it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
If I can do it in game, I can do it.
Again, if we get talking about Love is Blind, we can compare how the 2 experiments are completely different and how one probably has a better rate, even though it has less seasons than the other one. I'm just saying.
I believe if you can get to talk to people before you actually have to marry them, I think that's huge.
Yeah.
And what happens is this jumping right into the marriage be messing people up.
And again, that's why I want you to look at it to compare, because the dynamics that we didn't think about for the first season come up in the second season.
Is it different people?
Yes.
Okay.
There's even a reunion.
You know how I love a reunion.
It's even a reunion. And they pop off the first episode of the reunion. So, yeah. Anywho, you got to watch it. Yeah, you got to watch Love is Blind. See? Thank you, Bia.
Man, look. This is the type of time of the year. NBA,
ain't no football.
There's no football, but the NBA cranking up. We're getting ready for March Madness right around the corner. College basketball. the NFL Combine in a couple of weeks, then free agents. I ain't got no time. I got to watch to keep up. Let's talk about that. I'm not really into sports as much as I used to be. I like it.
Where?
I don't. I like it, and I'd rather listen to the shows and stuff than I'll watch. I haven't watched a full NBA game this year. I haven't watched a full college game.
You normally watch a full NBA game?
I watch a full Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Don't they stay on to the wee hours? Or you be sleeping?
No, there's a first game and then there's a second game.
Oh.
I don't stay up and watch that West Coast. That West Coast life ain't for me.
Okay. Good luck to them people. We'll catch y'all, of course, next week when they come on Wednesday. And I'm gonna try to get him to watch Love is Blind in between that.
Question: have you ever heard of the Great Resignation?
No.
All right. We are in a time now that people are resigning their full-time jobs with benefits and going into entrepreneurship. It kind of started to kick off a little bit when the Obama the Affordable Health Care Act came into place, when people were able to afford health care on their own, and it helped a lot of entrepreneurs. And with the tweaking of the Affordable Health Care Act, it has actually become affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And so now people are able to buy into the government's plan, and are able to pursue their dreams and leaving these jobs by the wayside because they don't seem like they don't care about them. They don't care about their family health, their family life balance. They don't care about providing wage increases by the merit of their jobs. And they try to get everybody the same thing, which is not fair at all.
It's not.
Because you're getting the same thing as the bottom performer. Nah, that ain't cool. And it's just they're trying to make stuff fair or even. Hate it. And so people are following their passions and their dreams. I was talking to somebody the other day, because most people know we have a t-shirt company or clothing apparel company where we put logos and all that type of stuff on your clothes. And so I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, yo, if I had to make minimum wage, I wouldn't take it, because I can make more money
being an entrepreneur
with less hours. And I was a full-time entrepreneur, I would be able to cover this whole house with business insurance and stuff like that, and get a bunch of money back on tax write-offs.
I think at the top of the pandemic, that pushed a lot of people to figure out what their passion is. I think they had idle time. This is what I like to do when I'm not at work, or when I'm not forced to have to go to work to make a living. So if work is going to pay me, which they were doing during the pandemic, for working from home or for sitting here for 2 or 3 weeks, then a lot of people found out what their niche was. They found out whether it was doing makeup, whether it was doing clothes, whether it was doing t-shirts, whether it was giving motivational speeches, and then they had an opportunity to record it.
Yep.
You name it, a lot of people, if you notice, a lot of folks, they, Instagram got filled up and TikTok got filled up at the beginning of the pandemic. So I think, especially hours put into it, when y'all think about how many hours you put into arts and stuff like that, if I can spend 8 hours, myself, I'm going to speak personally, if I could spend 8 hours of my day refining what I do with my fashion niche, or refining what I do with makeup, or refining my blog skills and refining all of that stuff, heck yeah, I would want to do that full time than to go somewhere where I really have no interest in the company. They ain't do nothing for me. And even if I decided to leave tomorrow, they would replace me. They could care less about little old me. They are a multi-million-dollar company. My little me leaving would not do anything. And so I think it's important for people to believe. That's why you see in a lot of people saying, you got to find your passion these days, is because them folks don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about you.
And also, and what I would say too is this: people have found, and then now what's happening because so many people are leaving the job. The job is trying to force people back into the office building because we know it ain't always busy, but you always got to look busy at work.
Oh, of course.
But at any job, when you at home doing your job from home, and when you ain't got to try to look busy for somebody, you're doing something completely other than you are pursuing your passion. And it's funny how when you are fed up at your job, you start looking for another job on their computers.
You're not supposed to do that.
You ain't supposed to do that, but
please don't do that, y'all.
85% of people do that.
At least use your phone. Don't use them people's computer.
85% of Indeed users use the work computers when they're looking for jobs.
They're trying to give them a reason to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be silly. You need a job before you quit one. Either have your passion in full view or have another job lined up. Don't do that.
Well, that's what's happening though. People don't. They just leave. They are just leaving. And now because we understand that most of us are cohabitating, we understand that most of us are sharing bills. And it's at one time we were living alone. And it's made it easier for us to cohabitate when somebody leave a job. It's not as much pressure to get another job, and so you can actually concentrate on what you love doing.
Yeah.
And people are finding their happiness. Here's the thing. I was talking to a former coworker of mine, and the job is closing. And I told her, look, these delivery people, you can make a decent salary. She said, but I don't want to have all that stuff I don't want to have no people in my car. I said, look, there's a couple of Uber Eats and all these things. And what's the one Destiny was doing for a minute? Instacart and GoPuff. And GoPuff be tipping. She got on there. She was on there for 2 weeks. And she was like, yo, my check was bigger doing these delivery apps things than it was
your work check.
My work check, and I didn't have to work as many hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are finding out. They can have niche jobs or gig jobs paid up for the affordable healthcare insurance and still live decently and still pursue their passion.
I may need to go work.
Go. The tips are great.
We can have this discussion.
Yes, the tips are great. That's what I heard.
Okay.
All right, so talk about your
we want to go right into the Twitter
before we go to
Tinder swindler.
Because we're not gonna be on here long. We're gonna try to. They have said YouTube is dying because some of the videos be too long, so we gotta.
Our patience, sir, is going.
Yeah, and it actually will help us do more shows.
That's true.
If we can keep this within 30 to 40 minutes.
So if you have not watched the Tinder Swindler and intend to watch it, now is your time. I'm giving you 5 seconds to leave the building, and then you can come back. Okay?
Man, if they leave, they're not coming back.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So essentially, what Tinder is? Tinder is a dating app.
A booty call app.
It's a dating app. There are a lot of people that meet and are very successful on Tinder.
Most people I've seen on Tinder and talked to the dudes.
But I know several people, like real life people, that have been successful. So anywho, it's a dating app. You swipe right if you good, left not so interested.
Do you ever get to see who swiped left on you?
No, it doesn't show you that. But I mean, if they come back around and you swipe, you're like, yeah, you probably passed me up before. I think you can tell that way.
No.
But anywho, so you have single women. Well, this one woman in particular that we're speaking of. Don't get me to ask nobody's name, except for main dude. And let me get his name for y'all real quick, because it was just, the whole thing was amazing to me. You can. I don't want to make this racist, so I ain't gonna say that. But there were some things that would not have happened to some of us. Okay, Simon Leviev. Okay, so this particular woman is on Tinder. You know, she tried to say that, you know, she wasn't necessarily looking for men with money or anything like that, but it helps when you view somebody's profile and they're traveling the world, dining at expensive restaurants, flying on private planes and whatnot.
Catfishing?
What?
They were catfishing?
Do you want me to explain this
Yes,
or no? Okay. So it helps them when, you know, you see somebody living lavish like that. So of course you're gonna swipe right. It was a match, of course. So, you know, immediately they start inboxing each other, going back and forth. He tells her on day one, this is a couple hours after they start talking, listen, I have to go out of the country tomorrow, but can you meet me before I leave for coffee? And when she meets him for coffee, you know, he's very charismatic or whatever. He was like, won't you go with me? She has known this man now for less than 24 hours. Bet I'm going home, grab some clothes. We getting on your plane and we're traveling. So they get on the plane and they go out of the country. And on the plane is a woman with a child who he explains that it is his daughter and his ex, but she is fully aware of what is going on and it's not a problem. So fast forward, these people have fallen in love with each other and it's only been a month maybe or so. He is taking her on trips and, you know, fine dining on the dates. When he's out of town, you know, he makes sure he gets in touch with her and blah, blah, blah. And she is swooning and falling in love. And then one day he tells her, no, he says he is the heir to a multi-billion-dollar diamond business. Okay. So there's a diamond
First of all, ain't no black woman.
These people are black.
Aren't? I know they not.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So he tells her he's the prince. He's the prince of this diamond business. So, you know, of course, his father is the king of diamonds, not like the strip club, but he is the king of diamonds and he has all of this money. So he says, look, there are some people that are trying to get to me, you know, because I'm this famous person, you know, I have all this money and there are people that want to kill me. He was like, so I'm out of the country and I can't use my American Express because they had to shut everything down because if I swipe my card, they're going to find my address and they're going to find where I live and they're going to kill me. So you got to help me. I need you to wire me $25,000 immediately.
First of all, Nick.
$25,000 immediately. And she's like, that's a lot of money, but fine. So
that's when the black woman would have said, I hope you make it home.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, that's awful.
I hope that you
figure it out. When you get home, we will figure
it out. So $200,000 later, after this woman has taken out loans, the American Express is in her name because he sends her all of the information for it to be in her name. She's taking out payday loans. She's taking out, you know, writing checks and getting wire transfers. You name it. Over $200,000. No. Side story is another woman he met on Tinder. Gives her the same information, but she decides when she meet him, you know what, I'm not attracted to you, but we cool. What up, BFF? Same thing. He's taking her out of the country, spending money, living lavishly in the Greece or whatever. Best friend. My enemies are after me. I need you to wire me $25,000. I need you to wire me $25,000.
I don't need to watch this. I don't need to watch it.
She's like, oh my God, what are you saying? But you got to watch it so you can see how you piece this thing together. I'm giving the fast forward version. So, boom, over here, American Express, because she calling and she was like, where's my money? I took out so many. I can't live. I can't pay my bills. I done took out so many
That's
loans.
your fault.
Please help me. He like, I told you I'm going to send it. So he yelling at her and stuff now. So she calls American Express finally, get them the whole breakdown. They was like, bet, don't say no more. They knock on her door. They come to the house. And they was like, give us the story one more time, because we think we know who you talking about. So they pull out the book like, hey, is this your boy? And then she was like, yes. They was like, yeah, but that's not his name. And she was like, what? So they break down the story. Meantime, girl over here, she is like, no, the other girl, the first girlfriend, is like, I have to tell somebody the story because nobody's going to find him because he's evaded the law for so long. He's from Israel, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but he's evaded the law. He's wanted in all of these countries. So a big reporting group or a big news group pulls up the story. They start doing the digging and investigating. They call the best friend girl and like, hey girl, do you know that your best friend is a fraud? She's like, no, I don't know what y'all talking about. So they try to get her to help them set up the dude. Bring in girlfriend number 3, who been there the whole time. She been there the whole time, and she's like, yo, she was like, I know where he is. He's right here. And it was like, yeah, he wanted.
Obviously, these real folk.
These are real life people. Real life people.
Yo, a girl asked me in high school for some boots from Sea Dreams level. I said they was $50. I said I ain't got no money. She said you got a credit card. I said, Mom, huh? Hey, my mama need to use the phone. I ain't never taught that girl to get in my life. And she went to the same school as me. I walk past her like I ain't know her for $50. Y'all taking out loans for people.
And both of them had taken out loans. All 3 of them taking out loans.
Yeah, I gotta watch this.
Credit cards, you name it. So when it all boiled down, they arrested old boy.
Where they found him at? I don't know where they found him.
He had been some country because what he was doing was find a girlfriend, rip all this money from her, find the next one, take her out with the other girlfriend money, and it was just, if I take $250,000 from you, I can finesse this girl right here.
Lavishly,
and then once I finesse her out $250,000, I can take enough. You see what I'm saying?
Man.
So when it was all
$250,000 on each one of these giants.
When it all was said and done, it was over $1 million worth of foolishness. $2 to $3 million between just 3 people.
Oh, that's crazy.
And these people still owe this money.
This is crazy. The
last chick was the kind of ha-ha moment because what she did was before they took him in, she was like, oh, you need help? You need help? Let me try to help you out. He was like, they get ready to arrest me. He was like, okay, let's meet and give me your clothes. So this man had Gucci, Prada, you name it. She sells old boy stuff on eBay saying she was going to give him the money to help him get out of trouble. And of course, she paid all her debts with that. But she didn't pay everything. But she still owed money. But she used some of the money she used on eBay. So he kept calling her. He was like, where my money at? You done sold all my clothes or whatever. She was like,
Negro, you that? Bruh. The audacity. Audacity.
Yeah. So moral of the story is he only got a couple weeks in jail. He is out now looking for a Hollywood agent.
To do a dating show. He has never really served any time. This is what my people say. This is beyond me.
So there are several things in the story that would not have happened to us. Let me just say.
First of all, us trying to get $250,000 worth of credit from somewhere.
Well, understand it started small.
I know.
But it was in the thousands.
You started coming up.
It was definitely in the thousands. It was like $2,000 here, $5,000, and he was saying, he's like, the wire's coming to you, and he'll send her the wire over the amount of what he owed, but the wire wouldn't work. Or the check would bounce. So she's like, "Oh, here's my money." No, it's like it's not your money. And this spanned over like 4 countries between Germany, Israel. Well, it's several countries, and when it came down to over 15 to 20 women, he had swindled out of all of their money.
That is wow.
And when I say all of their money, all of these women are hundreds of $1,000s in debt.
That's crazy, yo. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you go up to Tasha and get some money like that from Tasha? Just the regular. Can y'all holler at Tasha and get this type of money from Tasha?
Nobody's going to Keisha or Tasha to ask for $2,000.
Shaniqua.
You're not putting, first of all, a credit card in my name that you borrowing money off of.
Mm-mm.
And that's how when American Express showed up, they was like, "Baby, I understand your situation, but your name on here."
Put your name on
He
it.
did that in the fact, so he would not. Everything was in their name. He was like, "Let's go get an apartment." Send her looking for an apartment. Your budget is $500,000. You a month? A month? But it's going in your name though. I can't have none of my enemies, and that's what if you ever see somebody. That's the running joke. He kept telling people, "Them my enemies are coming after me, so I need your help. I need you to have my money." So yeah, y'all go watch it. You know, I gave the fast forwarded version.
What is the Tinder Swindler?
Tinder Swindler. It's on Netflix.
Man,
it's on Netflix. Jesus. So yeah, good job Netflix. So that one I can't imagine. I had a problem with I let somebody borrow $40 last week, and I'm still looking for it.
What you get for your $40? Because they be trying to offer other things for $40.
Oh no, it won't no offer. I need $40. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll pay you right back. My right back and their right back is obviously not. So let alone $2,000, $4,000, $5,000. I can't tell, especially nobody. I love you. Lord knows I do.
You wouldn't borrow? Let me borrow $250,000.
$250,000.
Mm-hmm.
You see where that makes sense? Mm-hmm. Where it makes
not one. First of all, $250,000 could put you in a nice old place.
If you can borrow $250,000 from me, there's something else going on with us that need to be fixed. Oh yeah, babe. Here's $250,000. No. People you know or people you don't know. $250,000.
Yeah, boy. Oh boy.
They don't even ask you to invest that much in nothing.
No, all they want you to do is get subscription for some MeUndies for $15 a month.
They got you.
Got them.
All right. So
next, body shaming. One of the things that I have really recognized in the last couple of weeks is there's a huge double standard on body shaming, where we find our friend, great artist Lizzo, and everybody give her, now everybody saying she be doing too much, but that when she first came out, yeah, girl, do this, come up, blah, blah, blah. And they would empower her to wear what she wears, or they was like, you can't talk about no woman, or you did say that, you can't talk about no woman body, blah, 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 blah. But in the last couple of weeks, the women, the folk,
they've been going
hard. Pun intended. On men's body.
I didn't mean to pun.
Because we first started out with my man Nelly in the dirty.
You can actually kind of take it back before then, when they were talking about this dad bod situation.
The dad bod situation.
You can kind of take it back even, but I think it escalated in this Nelly situation. But
yeah, because one of the things, I mean, he put it out there. So
he didn't mean to.
He didn't mean to put it out there, but he put it out there. And this is another thing that we don't ever discuss about this. So that was somebody's daughter.
And from what I hear, he had to, of course, that was he profusely apologized to her because, she did it in confidence. Yeah. And, nobody's going to shame her for the fact that you did it in confidence. He should not have. I don't care how drunk you ever get. I don't see I post 2 to 3 times a day. I don't see how it happens on accident, but apparently it happens, and I just don't get it.
Yep. And I believe a lot of times this is, but we don't see this. The way Nelly was body shamed, how could that have affected some other young man?
And when you brought that up, I never even thought about that.
Some other young man that may be having issues with his confidence or with this thing. And the first thing that women say, well, you should be able to get to know somebody 1st.
Mm-hmm.
But this is not playing out like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's playing out like if you don't have a porn star unit, that you ain't worth.
Right.
You ain't worth nothing.
The shaming has made it seem like it's a game changer. So even if you're a young man, and I can't speak the point of view from a young man, but if I would think as a woman's perspective, if there's a young man that's out there that is dating and is very self-conscious about his body in general, not necessarily his private area, but his body in general, and thinks, okay, I'm gonna try my hand at this. You get to know this woman, and the conversation is great. Everything is great. You treat her nice and with the utmost respect. You know, you meet up parents, and so y'all get to the day, and she don't like your body, and it's a deal breaker. So how does that work? I just don't understand it. If I'm getting to know you as a person, why is it that you don't love me enough, or why is it that you don't care for me enough to see how we can maneuver through this? No, that person can't change their anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you say we getting to know each other and I figure I care about you, aren't we going to find a way to where this works for both of us?
It's not about finding a way, because I was talking to somebody about this situation last week when it happened. And this is what we do in this culture. We are now a culture of extremes.
Okay.
We are a culture of extreme money. We're a culture of nobody wants to struggle. Nobody wants to grow with a person. All they want is ready made right now, and I want hysterectomy penis.
I don't want nobody reconfiguring nothing.
If it,
And I think that's all a lie. I think
it's a lie. It's a front.
I think it's a front.
It's a front, because if it's too big for your anatomy, it's not
It can't
enjoyable.
be pleasurable at all.
Everybody has a different anatomy, and a lot of people front and be like, "Oh, I wanted this, that, and the other,"
Lies.
and then when they go, they be like, "That was too much. I can't not stop."
The perspective you took it from, I just hadn't thought about. Like, you are now, for little boys that are not little boys, but for young men that are watching, or anybody that's watching, because the 10-year-olds be on the
Twitter every day,
and the TikToks and all that.
You cannot keep sexually explicit stuff from anybody.
And TikTok don't have parental guides, so there's that.
Twitter does, but who puts them on it?
Right. But for those that are watching, you've now given misconceptions to both. For young girls, you now set them up to believe that is the standard, which is not, and that's what they're gonna be expecting, and you're gonna be vastly disappointed when it doesn't happen for you like that. And number two, for the young men, now I gotta strive to do this, and in the same way we talk about the misogyny of men, wanting women to look a certain way, and then I'm going to get surgery so I can look the way that I think I'm supposed to look. What about that young man? So now I got to do the same thing, live up to these extreme measures, and now I got to go through surgeries and try to figure out how I'm gonna work with it. Why? I just don't understand why.
This is another thing I said. We have more clinically depressed people than ever. We have more people than ever that's on drugs to help to control their emotions. We have lost our moral codes. We have had we have a hard time finding our happy place. And a lot of people can't be happy even in the midst of their loved ones. And it is an entire conversation on a man's penis. Now, what does that do to the teenager with an average size penis? What do we what do we think that's going to do to their confidence, their self-esteem, and their morale? Do they think they will ever believe they'll be ever able to satisfy a woman? And all these women have said men should be looking and searching for something deeper. But let a famous person penis pic come out and boom, all the body shaming goes out the window.
It goes out the window. I mean, it's definitely a double standard, and I'm not sure why. Well, I do know why. I think it's a lot of pressure into
this culture,
and what the president has been said from down the line, and you know that as a young person when you grow up and whatever you learn, it's like, all right, this is what I'm supposed to be looking for.
That is,
and nobody has a conversation to tell you that's different.
That's different, and this is the purpose. This is when our culture in the 60s and 70s, where actually beating on women was kind of accepted.
Mm-hmm.
That has changed. That has changed. We thought the Me Too movement would change some things, but it only changed in one direction. We don't value. I don't think men are valued anymore, so. and we have to change that. Men are not in our communities. Men are not. I'm talking. I ain't talking about white people. Let me just say it like that. I'm talking about black men. Black men are not valued in our communities, and where we have programs, we have sayings, we have whole things. Black girl magic, black girl this, powerful black woman.
And I can see why.
I understand why, but why aren't we saying powerful black children, or black families, or find your? I mean, everybody talk about kings and queens, but ain't nobody treat nobody like a king or a queen.
Neither one.
Neither one. Mm-hmm. I want to find my kid. I want to find my Boaz. I want to find this. I want to find that. A lot of times it's all online, yo.
Yeah.
Because in the Bible says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." It's all online.
And that's what happened. The shift, to be very honest, happened when, we went through, when you were saying the 60s and 70s, and unfortunately between, Vietnam and what happened to the black man after that, and having to endure segregation, having to endure these job situations, having to endure coming back from a war, still being treated as a second-class citizen. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the way back to World War II, I would even say. But when the black man had to come home and face those, and he had no help in doing so, it became a lot of women's responsibility to take over. And that's where the shift lied, because he got lost. Mm-hmm. Black man got lost in there. And even during the 80s, when you figure out, when you go through this Reagan era situation and cocaine and crack, it was lost for generations where women had to pick up. And that's a thankless job. And I think that's when you had the switch into trying to big up black women. But now, when we had the switch, you forgot about the black men that were there and that stayed with their families and that were able to deal with that cope healthily. We forgot about the man that was there. And I think that's where the switch happened, is because now we independent because we had to be. We had to be independent. And this country has been founded on misogynistic values. You still got old white men telling us what to do with our bodies and whatnot. But unfortunately, the black man got lost in that shuffle. And while we came up, and this is just my opinion, while we came up and became independent and were able to take care of families, we never went back to pick up black man and aid him in the rest of the come up on the way. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And we were raising, and I can use the 70s, 80s, and 90s, especially in a way, we never went back to tell our sons, like, yeah, I'm independent, but this is I can't tell you how to be a black man, but this is what I think a black man is supposed to be. Or he is a black man that is doing what is supposed to be done, and this is the way you are supposed to act.
Or demonizing the black man that wants to be in their children's life, but no longer was culpable with you, but the black woman at that time. I
think that's a special circumstance.
That is a special, but we're living with a whole now generation of the baby daddies, and I got plenty of friends that go through that, that they can't honestly see their children or honestly be the father they need to be because they are being held hostage by a woman, a black woman. And then when you go to court, they see the black man as a thug and a non-provider. So even going to court trying a legal way to do things ain't really helping us either.
That's true. Very true.
And the second person we need to stop body shaming, or example of body shaming, is Mr. 50 Cent. But some of the energy 50 Cent got,
and that's why I don't feel sorry for him.
It's probably he put out so much bad energy.
That's why listen. No, we shouldn't body shame people, but Curtis Jackson,
great shows though,
has dished out quite a bit.
A whole lot.
I mean, several plates full.
Is that you, Ricky?
So I don't feel bad for him. No, he should. He gained a couple, 3-4 pounds, but he'd be the first one to come after somebody and talk about, because he ate up what's her face, Tierra Marie. No sympathy whatsoever.
I don't have no sympathy. It's just a situation for the whole body shaming thing.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm gonna tell you like this: if I had 50 Cent body right now, I would feel great about myself because he looks like a swole bouncer.
Not a bouncer.
He had to have that. He had to have on the onesie to keep that t-shirt.
Them t-shirts I didn't like when they were a thing. Them t-shirts was hideous. They were down to their knees, and this situation was terrible. And I don't know how he found that in his closet.
He designed that. It was a designer white.
I'm talking about to do the Super Bowl. They don't sell them.
They sell something somewhere.
No, they can't.
Hold on. Live and direct. G-Unit t-shirt. The G-Unit.
I pray not. I mean, on Etsy or on like Poshmark, don't nobody still have it, and he had that hanging up for nostalgic purposes. Amazon. That's what I'm saying. Amazon. Yeah, I'm sure Amazon carry everything. Ain't nobody carrying.
They got them Jones in different flavors.
See, they look terrible. But anywho.
All you had to do is call up Amazon. He got that job delivered right at the stage as the Super Bowl. Next day shipping. But Amazon got a plethora of these things.
No, thank you. Dr.
J's.
All right, y'all. That was the end of our show today.
End of the show tonight.
We'll meet y'all back here next Monday.
I also have we're gonna give you a preview of this. Y'all do some privacy settings for Apple. Privacy settings for Apple, and it's getting to become Apple versus Meta. Y'all look into it, and we're gonna talk about it next week. I'm totally against body shaming, but I ain't we ain't calling for him. But he fell into the trap this week.
Yeah, well, now you know what it feels like, sir.
All right, love y'all. Peace. Y'all have a great week. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.